Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dice Tower and our continuing coverage of Gen Con. My name is Zee Garcia.
I'm Chris Yee. I forgot the order.
I'm Camilla.
Yes, it's the three of us. We are all here.
We are here.
All right, so you've already, if you've been following at all, and really you should have been, you've already seen Tom Vassell and Mike DeLisio do a scroll-a-thon of Gen Con booths and games and all of that jazz based on the BGG 2024 preview.
Yeah.
And then again, if your attention continued, you saw you guys did a top 10, right? Mm-hmm. A top 10 with Roy, Wendy, and Joey covering some games that are going to be at Gen Con. And we are doing something a little bit similar today, but we decided to focus on booths.
Yes.
That does a couple of things, okay? A, it lets us sneak in there more than specific games. We can just say a booth, and they might have 6 games we're interested in. That's a booth you want to go check out. There's this many games. They have some neat stuff. And B, it lets us talk about booths that aren't games. Mm-hmm. And areas of the Gen Con floor plan that aren't games. Mm-hmm. We'll be talking about some of that today. Now, before we get started here, I do recommend that you get yourself something to write with and something to write on, because we're going to be mentioning booth numbers. And, hey, we want you to be prepared. Write them down so you can check these out. We're going to be going through them numerically. So if you enter on the low side of the hall, you can actually hit these up in the order we're giving them to you. So there you go.
I love Mike Heller here. Oh, I'm sorry. I love Mike Heller here said, do food trucks count as booths? They don't, but had I thought of it, I definitely would have snuck it in here.
Yes.
Like 100%.
That's there you go. Check out. They've moved, I think, most of the food trucks between the convention hall and the stadium now.
That's right.
And that's supposed to be a much better
Is it the same place it was last year, next to the train tracks?
I think so.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. So it changed last year's there again.
Yeah, everything we're talking about here is in that one big area with all the numbered booths, okay? That's what we're sticking with. But, of course, there is, the stadium, the walk to the stadium, upstairs, everything outside of that main
pinball alley that you can find.
There's so much stuff. We can't possibly cover it all. We also covered quite a bit of it yesterday, actually, when we, in Smorgasbord, looked through the con book. So if you want to see that, too, and kind of follow us along with it, check that out from yesterday morning.
Really quick, with my writing implements here, I'd like to also give a shout-out.
Let's do that.
To a few of our Kickstarter backers.
Heyo.
They're all going to be at Gen Con.
They're every one of them. Jen and Jane, you know who you are. Looking forward to meeting you there. Owine and Felicia Gwynn, who gave phonetic pronunciation notes.
Can I see?
Yeah, y'all are champions. I appreciate that. Sarah Corcoran.
Oh, wine. I love that.
Alex and Gabby. Ryan from St. George, Utah. Been there. That's most I can say about St. George.
I think I've been there.
Bex and Brian. Thomas Bidiot. He did not give a phonetic pronunciation.
He did not.
I'm guessing.
Hope it's right.
So
Hope
then
it's
you can't
right.
pronounce it right. How would you try again?
Yeah, Tomas.
The docs.
Owi Chung. Excuse me on BGG. And lastly, the Nian Polytechnic Tabletop Games Club.
I love polytechnics.
I know.
That is an underused word.
I know. When things just explode in the sky.
That's not what that, no.
It's so satisfying.
Yep. Anyway, we also
like
want to mention our sponsors. We're talking here about All Play and the Op, and their booths that you can go and check out. So the Op is at booth 136 in that nice big hall. And they've got lots of stuff there you want to check out. One that I'm excited to see is they're reprinting Wonky. Have you guys ever played Wonky?
No.
Is that the stacking game?
Yeah, it's
with
a stacking game with
Wonky?
goofy-looking
Hold up.
stacking pieces. They're like not. They don't stack well, but
Okay.
it's a stacking game.
Just search Wonky. I'm sure
I did
it'll
it,
be
and
good.
Wonky Donkey came up, so won't be
If they
clicking that.
made a wonky
Skip.
donkey version of Wonky, oh my goodness me, I'm there.
Is this it?
That's it. That is Wonky. It's a game that's
Wonky.
been out before. They're reprinting it. Make sure you go and check it out. It's pretty silly, pretty fun.
They're also doing like 10 days in the USA.
That's right. They got Gnome Hollow there as well, of course, if you want something a little more with a little more oomph. And then All Play, their booth will be at 2647. And they have, my goodness, all sorts of things, right? Things in rings if you want to keep it nice and light. Play a party game with just about anybody.
Through the
Trick-taking
desert.
games.
About
Through
every
the desert.
trick-taking game possible.
The new River Valley Glassworks. I think this will be the first place where it's available.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm really excited. They also have the tiny box games like Rainbow and Fairy, and like those are the ones that I'm actually most excited about.
Yeah, and they're very small, fit in your pocket kind of boxes.
Yep.
So there we go. And then I guess we should go ahead and mention a third booth here before we kick it off properly. And that is the Dice Tower booth, okay? That's where we're going to be.
Well, sometimes.
That's the place to go check out first, last, and in between. We're booth 331. So make sure you check us out as well, please. And with that all out of the way, I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, so as we were saying, we're going to go through these low to high numbers. So if you're entering from over here, then you'll be coming in, and we're kind of working left to right through the map here.
That's it.
So no order other than that.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I had stuff pulled up for All Play and Op. Look at me being prepared and forgetting. I'm on fire.
So we're going to show the convention map, and then we're also going to pull up the company websites and stuff. So starting on the left side of the map over here.
All right, so our first one is Monument Hobbies, and this is something you know about.
Yeah,
I don't really know very
super.
much about it myself. I don't know about Chris.
You do know. Yeah, the pro acryl paints that you like.
I do like some pro acryl
So,
paints,
yeah, it's
but
with
again,
Hobby Nerd.
I don't yet, I don't know that much about them. I know they make paints. I know I like them, the few I've tried.
Yeah.
I'm excited to check out this booth quite a bit because, again, I've dipped a toe into what they do. I don't really know, and I want to see what's there.
Well, it's funny because you say that it sounds like there's two sides of it. There's the painting and the paint accoutrements and stuff, but then also Hobby Nerd is doing one of the games that we're playing at our booth, right? So during the length of Gen Con, we're going to be playing various games, and so they're putting out Age of Angra, which is like a card-driven game, and I was like, I was expecting like a big old miniatures paint fest, but they said that there's more coming in the future. So I'm curious if they're going to have anything they're showing off there.
Right, yeah.
I really, really like they have like the best white paint in the entire business. Like it's so good. I love it. Their paints are super smooth. They're a recent discovery of mine. I was really intimidated by them because they're definitely like top of the line paints, and I'm like a bottom of the line painter.
Correct.
So, yeah, thank you, Zee. He's realistic.
No, I was
over here.
talking about the top of the line part.
Oh. so I really like it, and so I've just kind of over the last year kind of discovered the paint. So I'm really excited to go get some neat new colors to come home with.
That's very cool.
Well, it's funny because like as a non-painter, I have to imagine that when you say like they have the best white paint, I'm like that must mean something.
Oh, it does.
'Cause I'm guessing
does.
that painting white is awful.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's streaky and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
you've painted a house before, and if you're like
that's true.
think about putting the primer on the wall or something like that, or just that one white coat. If you're going dark to light, then it's like 4 or 5 coats. Their white is so smooth and so opaque. It is.
It is
fantastic.
famously also their best-selling paint. No joke.
Right.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
they say it right. They're like, oh yeah, our best-selling
Yeah.
paint. Like their best-selling color, white.
Is the white.
Because it's a particularly good white. That's what it is. So yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And Mike Heller up here, he's saying that their best color is their yellow, actually. So yellow and red are also really difficult colors. And so maybe I'll check out their yellow, because I just avoid painting with yellow or white.
Okay, that is good
I just go
advice right
green.
there.
So
When
yeah,
I start painting my Simpsons miniatures game, I'll hit them up.
Yeah.
You need a
There
lot
we
of
go.
yellow for that, yeah. So very cool. I'm excited for this booth. And again, Monument Hobbies and Hobby Nerd, same thing, right?
Yep.
They're at booth 552.
Yep. And so where was that? I had a hard time finding it here.
So 552 is right there. Yep. They're
Oh, the
pretty
one I'm pointing to.
They're pretty close to us. They're pretty close to Floodgate there. Yeah. check them out. I'm definitely going by. I know you're going to go by
Yeah.
and see what's going on there.
If you can't find me, I'm probably there doing another, 5th or 6th pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, cool.
All right, there we go. Next up, we've got another booth that just happened to line up as the next one because numerically it worked out. And this is Game Envy. Game Envy makes painting accoutrement, as Chris said, as well. They are at booth 568, very near to Monument Hobbies. Actually, you can check them out at the same time. And they don't make paints, though. What they make is you can get a wet palette from them to paint. You can get brushes. You can get, I think they're making lamps very shortly in the future. And then I know you specifically were interested in one of these handles for the minis, right?
Right, yeah. So again, bottom of the line painter here. I still just use like old medicine bottles with some tack on it, some blue tack. And so I'm really intrigued by trying this hobby holder. Like again, Mike here in the chat saying he uses it. A lot of the people I watch on YouTube and try to emulate use them. And so, trying to at least pretend like I know what I'm doing. I would like to try one of these.
I am curious, like, I do what you do a little bit, holding a thing,
Yeah.
right? But like that handle, or like not the handle, that armature on the outside. What am I missing there?
So the first picture there, that looks really uncomfortable right there, holding it like that. I don't think I can do that. But the way he's holding it here, and I like the stability of that right hand coming in, the way you can rest your pinky on it in the back. And so I think that would give a really nice contact point for stability instead of having to like fully lean, on the table and lean over everything. I think that's what I'm most intrigued by is holding it like that for that really fine detail work.
That's interesting.
And anything where you can change grip too, like
Yeah.
if you're holding the medicine pill bottle for a long time, at some point you're like, I can't open my hand, right?
Yeah. At some point, you need something a little bit bigger. And I have varying sizes because of that. But I
Right.
just think for fine detail work, I'm really intrigued by this. And like I said, I use their wet palette. I know you've been enjoying their brushes recently.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I'm super stoked to stop by them. And that light, I actually backed that light on Kickstarter and hasn't come in yet. So
Nice.
hopefully it's there. We can at least see.
Yeah, for me, I mean, you're talking about being a bottom of the barrel painter or whatever. I'm whatever's way below that. That's me.
You're not in the barrel.
I'm nowhere. I'm like looking at the barrel as the barrel goes by, and I throw bad white paint at it.
You do not. You sell yourself so short.
But even being where I'm at, which again is like dabbling just a little bit, I really like their stuff too. It's a neat booth. It's a small booth, but there's fun things to look at everywhere, and goofy stuff too, like a sponge to put in the wet palette, nice wax paper or whatever, brushes, cool stuff, a little thing to rest your brushes on. I like all their little bits and bobs.
As a non-painter, I found their booth really interesting.
Yeah.
And they're really kind too.
They are.
They're just very open and kind. They don't make you feel like
Like a bottom of the barrel painter, for
you
example.
don't know what that is.
Yeah, definitely.
they're
I
just so
agree. I didn't
nice.
feel like I was an outsider, and
Yeah.
going up to that booth.
Right.
That's very nice.
Yeah. All right.
All right, there we go. That is Game Envy again, 568. Next up, we're talking about a whole area, actually, of this floor, and that is the Artist Alley. They call it Art Show and Authors Avenue here. We kind of refer to it as the Artist Alley. It starts around 575, but it really goes up to from basically row 5 to row 10.
You're right.
This whole chunk in the back is chock full of amazing artwork.
Well, and art pieces too. I mean,
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite things I saw last year was air vent covers that had this acrylic dinosaur coming out. So they're like Jurassic Park
What?
clay molded. And so it was like you just replace your air vent with it and it's like this Jurassic Park breaking out of it. And so it's still a functional
Chris
air vent.
not own that
I
yet?
don't know
I
because
don't
it was
know.
like $250. But I was
That's why.
super tempted. I was like, maybe
pretty
though.
cool.
If I didn't rent, if I owned my home, I'd be like, that's pretty temptuous.
Really?
It's just some really, really
Yeah.
cool artistic pieces. That whether it's physical artwork that you're buying. I got a T-shirt there last year,
Right.
Because I wanted the art print, but I was scared it was going to get damaged, and so I bought the T-shirt instead with the art print I liked. And it's just a really
you can
neat.
get all sorts of sizes too. You want a big giant thing for your wall, you can do that. You want a little postcard with a little splash of artwork, you can do that.
Yeah.
And then, shirts, whatever, books of artwork. The artists are often there at their booth.
Yes.
So you want something signed, you want to converse with them for a minute, you can do that. It's amazing to have that sort of, access to someone whose artwork you can appreciate looking up, and then they're right there and you look down and give them your compliments or ask them to sign a piece for you or what have you. That's really cool.
And because so many of the artists come back year after year, it's cool that if you bought a piece from them, you come back the next year and you're like, hey, what do you got this time? It's fun to kind of see that, like, there's going to be some of the same stuff, but then there's new things they bring in. I think that this is an area of the convention that I spend too little time in. If I didn't notice a Jurassic dinosaur
so cool.
breaking out of the air vent, like, I'm clearly not spending enough time there myself.
I'll put it on the vlog this year if I find it, because it was so good. And I think this is where I spend most of my time. I try to go at least once a day, and I swear every day I find something new that I didn't see the day before. And not just because the artists are there making new pieces. It's not them. It's on actually me and my inobservancy. But yeah, I really, really like it. So, I mean, you can see here how many different artists are going to be here. This is the list of the artists. Whether it's authors or artists or sculptors, whatever. Just a lot of really, really cool stuff.
And this goes from everything from pretty well-known, very established Magic the Gathering artists all the way to folks you probably have never heard of and might not, you know what I mean? So I really like that spread of not artwork quality, not has nothing to do with that, just exposure of those people. Some of them are very well-known, some aren't. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like going to a music festival that has bands everyone's heard of and then indie, garage people over here. That's great.
And you might find your next favorite band.
Right.
Yeah. And it's really cool because there's everything from the board game artist to also just the nerd artist, as you will. There's like Star Trek stuff and Star Wars and Jurassic Park and just anime, fantasy, like everything. So just a huge breadth of different stuff to see.
Yeah, so if you've been before and bypassed this area, definitely check it out. Give it some time, or give yourself, I should say, some time to walk around here. There's always neat stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Let's jump now, take a big jump into row 12 here, aisle 12, over to 1233, and we have a booth for 25th Century Games. 25th Century Games seems to be bringing over and republishing games from everybody.
Right, from abroad. They're also working with Motor City Games. Last year, they sold out of Three Sisters, the roll and write game, and they had to work with multiple companies to bring a new shipment in because they were tearing through so much stuff. They're going to still have that and all of the new stuff they're doing right now.
And just the breadth of what they have here. I mean, there really is. They're kind of the company that's looking like something for everybody. Abstract, you got the donut shop. You like the Euro, you got the Nova Roma. You want something lighter that you're going to play with the family, you got the one that I can't pronounce.
Agada.
You nailed it.
Yes, I did.
Well, Mutton Bust is like a super silly, goofy game. It's not one that I'm interested in myself, but someone's going to have fun rolling dice and doing goofy things, yelling funny things. And then that's right next to Ra?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Which is an old classic, and even Resist on here. You mentioned Three Sisters and Motor City, if the roll and writes are your things. I mean, just such a wide range of games that you can pick up there for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're also importing, sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
They're also importing a lot of games from Play T, a lot of the Korean publisher one that looks so good. Penguin Party and
Circus Flocati, the Play T edition of that looks gorgeous.
Yes.
They've got the Mondu stuff with Dracula versus Van Helsing and all of that stuff. They've done some work here with Lumberjack Studio with Oh My Brain. They are working with so many companies to reprint so much stuff. Mm-hmm. That's amazing to me. I mean, you will like one of their games.
Yeah.
Because they make so many different games. I mean, that might be a strength or a weakness when a company you can't just from the name of the company know if you'll like their game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you're here at this event, there's going to be something you'll like that'll catch your eye. So definitely, I'd recommend you check them out. 25th Century Games, 1233 is where they're at.
Again, that is right.
All right, next up we've got Wonderful World Board Games. This is 1356 is where this booth is. And this is one that you wanted to talk about specifically, Chris. I don't really know too much about them.
So I met them at Essen last year. So they're a Taiwanese publisher. And I think that one of the cool things that I'm noticing this Gen Con is what we just talked about with 25th Century. There's a lot more like Asian and foreign imports. So games from Asia, Spain, Brazil. I mean, we didn't put Arcane Wonders on the list because it's almost a gimme at this point.
Right.
Go to the Arcane Wonders booth. Dice Tower Essentials line is killing it this year, and so is their stuff. But aside from that, so Wonderful World, I think this is going to be their first Gen Con, and so cool to see a Taiwanese publisher bringing in things that otherwise are kind of hard to find. So like the Loco Momo game we reviewed recently.
You like that a lot.
I loved that one. Rubber, Paper, Scissors, and I remember at Essen 2 years ago, you played that Touch It game.
Oh
you
my
like
goodness,
demoed
I was
that.
laughing, yeah.
What?
Well, there was this guy. And you're walking around Essen, right? And there's one of their demoers. He's just basically holding this little tiny box. And as you walk by, he'd be like, touch it. I'm like, what? Huh?
What?
It's this game where you take the card and you feel the bottom of the card. You literally, there's texture. You touch it and then try to figure out what the thing is out of like a few options you see on the back. Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, they reprinted it. Now in like different editions. It used to be a single sort of box. But yeah, they've reprinted it across various thematic, I guess, touchstones.
Weird.
And it'll be there.
Interesting. Okay.
Picnic edition and the nerd edition, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It's funky.
That's
hey, you want something
strange.
weird? You want something
there's right there.
way out of the ordinary?
Yeah.
Go check this out. Again, this is if you're one of those people who's like, I want to go to Gen Con and get something that I can't just get later on everywhere. Here you go. This is the booth you want to go check out.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it looks so silly, but also I could see this going over very well with a lot of people. Maybe not certain people.
It's weird for sure.
I don't know.
but-
Ugh, did they wash their hands?
Right. If you're thinking at that level, this game is not for you.
Right. If you have your own
Especially at
copy,
Gen
also,
Con, I assume
if
nobody washes their
If you have
hands
your
there.
own copy, you can limit who touches it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next booth to visit after this is the restroom to wash your hands.
Yes.
After you touch that
Exactly.
card, 7,000 people have just touched.
Exactly. So there you go. That is Wonderful World. That is 1356. Next up, we've got at 1619, we've got Renegade Game Studios.
Right there. Big one on the map.
And they are a big one on the map, sure. They've got some neat stuff this year. So the Heroescape stuff will be there, obviously. Very big, splashy release from them. If you are an old school fan of Heroescape, it's coming back. If you've never played it, this is a fun time to try it out. Big, bombastic miniatures game. They've also got, and this is what I'm excited about the most, the reprint of Nexus Ops.
Yes. This was
Should
on
be there.
Roy's list yesterday, I think.
Yeah, so that's cool. I'm looking forward to that, seeing what they do.
On
Micho
here?
artwork,
Do we see it?
which
Really?
is an interesting
What?
touch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is it not on their website here? I want to see this.
You have to click around or search it or something. Yeah, it's harder to
Gen
find.
Con
than I thought.
2024 right there is not it.
Oh, the big tab. Oh,
That right there
that's
will
the
do it.
Micho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way. Wow.
Oh, yeah, you can see it there now. If you zoom in, you can kind of tell, Yeah, it's really cool. I like Nexus Ops quite a bit, and this is
looks good.
a fun new release. But then they've also got things like Veil of Eternity that'll be there. If you haven't
Yeah.
played that, you got to check it out. It's a great card game. They've got the Legacy of You, I think, is there,
yeah.
and the Ezra and Nehemiah.
Yeah, all the Garfield stuff
All
they
that
carry here in the
stuff, yeah.
States. Yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of goodies there. That is 1619 is their booth.
That is right there. Can't miss it on the map.
Then after that, we move on to 1939, and this is Glass Cannon Unplugged. Glass Cannon
excited.
Unplugged isn't actually selling anything that we know of. They might be selling stuff. I'm assuming they are. But the games that I know you and I were kind of excited about at the very least aren't things that are necessarily for sale there, but things you should go look at, things you should go ideally demo.
Yeah.
This is interesting because I think none of these big games are available. And
Right.
but like,
Yeah.
if you want something different to do, and you want to demo some like really cool, splashy looking games. Because which ones are they again?
So they've got Apex Legends, okay?
Which
We've
I
played that
really
live.
liked that one.
Yeah,
I
these guys
really
do.
enjoyed it.
They do video game, board game adaptations. Okay, that's their bread and butter. So the Apex Legends, played that live, really liked it. Don't Starve is getting a board game, really cool. It's got that iconic artwork, and I'm curious about the game. I don't really know too much about it. I know the video game.
It's kind of a survival game, right?
It's a
Which
survival
is
game.
Straight up in my wheelhouse. I'm really excited. It looks adorable too. I don't play the video game, but yeah, they have me on that one.
And then Dying Light should also be there to demo and look at and touch and whatever. Touch it.
Jeez. Yeah, Glass Canyon Unplugged. They're a company to me that just they haven't done me wrong yet. And I'm so excited. I'm really disappointed. I think that they're not going to have anything there for the Diablo, that they're doing. Because if they have the Diablo, then I would forego every other booth, and that's where you'd find me the whole time. But yeah, I'm so excited about that. So yeah, I loved Frostpunk. I really enjoyed Apex Legend. There's a company that just keeps delivering.
Right.
And I say all the time I don't do video games because they make me sick. I get nauseous watching them, but I appreciate the feel that they bring, and I see why people like them. And so to have a board game adaptation of that's well done. Like I said, they just keep delivering. So super excited about that.
I agree. And it's tricky. You never know with video game adaptations. Yeah, they're getting generally better, but they're still you still don't know. Yeah. These guys know what they're doing when it comes to adapting a video game into a proper board game. You get a whole lot of neat stuff in there. And it's
I've been surprised multiple times by that.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Really at this point, it's less surprising because they're having a good track record.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Moving on to.
I didn't have them pulled up. I'm sorry. We just looked at the map the whole time.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
Not bad.
That one's the games people know pretty well. Apex Legends, Dying Light, Don't Starve. You know what we're talking about. All right. Next up, we're looking at booth 2004, and this is the booth for Burnt Island Games, who is sharing, from what we can tell, with KTBG, Kids Table Board Gaming. So they've got a few things going on. The most interesting one to me would be hopefully Endeavor Deep Sea is there.
Oh, that'd be great if it was there.
It sounds like it might be there, so we'll see. I'm excited to try this out. I really like Endeavor, the original one that came out ages ago. Then they reprint it, like that edition as well. And this new one seems to be a more interesting package overall. I like the theme better. The game is shaking a little bit, the formula. I'm excited for it.
Looks like it will be there. They flew in retail-only units to sell. So
That's
the retail-only of Endeavor Deep Sea will be there. So that's really exciting.
They also have Mycelia there. They have the remake. This is KTBG has the remake of Wasabi there that they renamed Maki Master.
Cafe Bar.
I didn't realize that Cafe Barras had delivered either. I remember that Kickstarter. That's exciting.
I think that's there.
Yeah.
They've got
That'd be
some fun-looking stuff there. I like Wasabi. The original Wasabi was a game I really enjoyed, and the remake I'm looking forward to.
I feel like the underrated game of theirs is just showed at the Fossilis game. I really enjoy that game a lot. So they're going to be here in what's called the Family Fun Pavilion, which is a lot of just family weight games, a lot of kids games, things like that.
I'm gonna go ahead and segue actually, because the next one that I kind of recommended here was booth 2304, which is over there on the end of the Family Fun Pavilion. I really think that this is a cool thing to spend a little more time in. I understand. I have a almost 9-year-old daughter, so like this is a place that I like to go do more of my shopping.
Yeah,
and I think that if you're looking for gifts or if you're looking for anything like that, this is such a great place to spend a little bit more time. Booth 2304 is MindWare / Peaceable Kingdom. So MindWare is the ones that's bringing out Ziggurat, the one that we played live.
Yeah, right. It's a
It's a
legacy game. It's MindWare. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
Which is funny. So when you look at this main webpage, they make a lot of children's play puzzles and activities and stuff.
Right.
And then bam, Rob Davio, Matt Leacock legacy game.
right. Now it is again.
Wow.
It's based on a previous design of Matt Leacock's here. I forget what it was called.
Mole Rats in Space.
Mole Rats in Space or something like that.
Okay, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
a
that.
very it's a kids game, and so they made this thing. I know you guys played it live. I wasn't in that play, but you and Tom, I guess, played it live. Somebody played it live.
Joey, Mike, Wendy. now I feel bad I forget who the fourth was. I played it at home with Wendy.
Oh, okay.
It's like getting ready for the live stream.
Got it. So you guys have seen it live here.
Yeah.
It's adorable. Look at
very
this
cute.
purse.
And it's definitely one, like you said, to go check out. If you've got kids and you want to show them something different, show them this one. See how that goes.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a neat looking production.
It's a 6-chapter legacy game. It looks gorgeous. It has that 3D ziggurat pyramid on the table. And like it starts off super simple, right? To the point where like if we played it, we'd be like, it's pretty obvious. And then starting at the second chapter, they're like, rules shake up. And you're like, okay, good. Because I trust legacy games from those two designers.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So to do it for a kid's game, I think that's amazing.
This is cute.
Yeah, that's
super
really
cute.
neat. I love that. I love seeing something so different like that.
Yeah, nothing else. You're there in the Family Fun Pavilion, and there's a lot of other things to see, too.
Very nice. All right, next up, I think we just got a glimpse there of Devir.
Not bad.
Devir is going to be a 2827, and they've got lots of goodies. Lately, Devir's on fire lately.
Oh, my
They're
goodness.
doing so well. Sand, they have White Castle not too long ago. Cities, we just
We just did that one.
reviewed. Really neat game, that one. What else, Chris? I know you really like them. I know, Hard Rock.
the big one is the Hard Rock,
That's the
yeah.
big one, yeah.
And Planta Nubo. No one's played that yet, have they?
That
played
is
that?
that's one we reviewed a bit ago. This
Oh,
is
okay.
they're picking it up, I guess,
Oh,
from
got it, okay.
from a smaller publisher print run.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But
I mean, Hard Rock is
Oh, yeah.
bona fide hit waiting to happen, I think.
Well, and it's so cool because Jackie Fox, the designer, former bassist from the Runaways, I mean, just a literal rock star,
Right.
is the designer of the game, and she'll be there at different times. And then one of the things, we're not talking too much about stuff outside of the vendor hall, but I think that they also have another demo room or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're kind of going all out into that one, which
That's
is cool.
what I heard, like a
Yeah.
whole stage and everything, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm
is
excited
What I
to
heard.
see
It's going to be
what
like a
it'll be.
whole production. Be sure to
Right.
check it out.
But but going to the booth and actually picking up this game is going to be so cool. It comes with the Jackie Fox promo herself, which I think is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
yeah.
Devir's been killing it,
Yeah.
like you said.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, they've been on absolute fire lately. Yeah.
They're easy
All right.
to find on the map, too. They got the little picture in there, so that'll be good. Easy.
All right, next up, we've got 2955. We have Incredible Dream. Incredible Dream.
So they're back here in the 2955. So they're going to be back in the
2955, right.
Entrepreneur Avenue, which is like the first time at Gen Con booths, right?
Yeah,
Is that-
generally smaller booths, sort of a little more peripheral kind of stuff. But don't let that fool you. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, okay? You should definitely spend some time, just like we said about the Artist Alley, going through these booths back here. There's a lot of neat
Yeah, I
stuff.
think I found
like-
2 games that I was excited about
Yeah.
back here last year that I ended up backing on the Kickstarter because I was able to find them in here and
Right.
play with them. So, this is another really, really neat area.
Like last year in that area was Paverson Games, who had Distilled,
Yeah.
and they were doing early demos of Luthier, and now they seem like a force to be reckoned with kind of company.
Right.
Yeah.
And they
Right.
were in here last year, so don't write any of these off.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Weirdwood Manor was back there. That's the other one that I'd found back there from Grey Ridge Games. So, yeah.
But yeah, Incredible
Right.
Dream has a game that you and I both really, really like. Kinfire Chronicles, great.
Yep.
Kinfire Delve is sort of the smaller spin-off, and they have 3 of those boxes, basically, with the last one, that Callus's Lab,
Callus Lab.
being, I think, there.
I believe it's going to be there. That from what I understand, it's going to be there. I know that we're going to
Yeah.
be playing it at our booth, but I think it's going to be there to sell as well at their booth, and I'm so excited because it's the last 2 characters from Kinfire Chronicles.
Right.
So in Kinfire Delve, you have all the characters from Kinfire Chronicles, but you're playing a card game going through this well, trying to defeat the big baddie at the end. So it's like a dungeon crawler in a card game kind of feel. And so the last 2 characters from your Kinfire Chronicle campaign are now brought into this Delve system.
You can mix and match, too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You want to fight
cool.
the first guy. You want to fight the first baddie from the first box with these 2 new good guys. You can do that. You want to switch, you can basically, again, every one of these boxes, and this is the third and last, has 1 big bad, 2 good guys. You can mix it all.
Mm-hmm.
You can play with a single player. You can play 2 players, and if you get more than 1 box, then you can go above 2 players,
Which is really cool. And then you
which
can
is cool. You can
deploy
mix.
down.
You can do basically whatever you want. The game is excellent. You should again see a review we did of the first one, and they are consistently good.
Sorry.
The small boxes. So I'm thinking about picking this one up actually because
It's really good.
I hear you nerds talking about it all the time. Like I want to play this, so I
Yeah,
think
it's
I'll.
neat.
Yeah,
Well-
it's rare for me to just be like, I don't actually know much about it. I'll probably pick up a box.
Well, and it's an
Yeah,
exception
it's-
kind of game for me. I don't really care for card games. That's not my wheelhouse, but something about me is it's so. There's so much personality in each of the characters.
Right.
And each of the bad guys feel completely different as well. But you're going through this massive deck, and it's just so rewarding to go through that deck and be trying to get to that big baddie at the end. And just your individual characters, you play very asymmetrically, but it's cooperative to where you have to work together and you can play off each other's turns. Okay, I'm just gushing about the game. I'm super excited about Callus Lab. I love the Ranger, and I can't wait to get her character. I'm
Do you
so
think?
excited.
I mean, you don't know offhand, but like, should I get one of the other 2 boxes, or do they all kind of seem like at the same level? Just get whichever one
think-
seems coolest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
whichever
they're
one
really
seems cool.
they're really inexpensive. You can get one of these for $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
That's cheap, folks, for
Yeah.
what you get, the quality you get.
Yeah.
These are high quality cards.
Yes.
Nice components, nice tokens. You wouldn't think this is $20 is what I'm saying. They're very well priced.
Yeah.
They're also going to have demos, I assume, of the one that was just on crowdfunding not too long ago, which is called
Kinfire
Council, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they'll have demos of that there. If you want to check that out, maybe you can still late pledge if you were on the fence. So check that out.
Yeah.
This is a cool world they're building with their Kinfire stuff.
Yeah, that's neat.
I like the way it's all sort of interconnected with the same characters, doing kind of different things based on which game you're playing. And then we've got one more booth we want to talk about here, and this is 3035, and that is Bezier. Chris, take it away, Bezier.
I'll be back here on the back wall.
They are all the way in the back. So, funny little story is they're in a very different spot of the hall this year. They got a bigger booth space. So we are the Dice Tower booth this year is kind of where they were previously.
That's right.
So they upgraded.
Oh,
we got to upgrade to our
nice.
nice big booth this year that we're going to be doing these, have extra room for tables and playing games and stuff. So
Yeah.
thanks, Bezier, for that.
Yeah, right?
But my goodness, this is a booth to go see if you like card games. Inexpensive things you want to pick up, easy to travel with, whatever. Like these 4 right here. The only one I haven't played yet is Sandbag, but Rebel Princesses is very cool. Trick-taking game, kind of a little riff on Hearts, where you're trying to avoid marriage proposals from princes.
Right.
That's a great way to theme a game like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
why are you avoiding the tricks? Because points. No, you don't want to get courted. I like that, right? Sears Catalog is a great shedding game. This is something to check out if you wanted to pick up Taylor Reiner's Of What's Left, a very small print run game that is, was one of those super hard to find things. Bezier picked it up, filled it out with more cards with powers into it, and put this, I think, really goofy little theme on it. The Werewolf Sears catalog.
It's one I haven't seen yet, but I'm excited to check it out. I like the look of it. I really like what they did with that sort of the retro, I don't know, Art Deco retro thing going on. I like that.
Is that a wolf in the window?
There's a werewolf in the window, yeah. So it's
Why?
because it's the Bezier, right? The werewolf company.
Yeah,
so,
I get that.
Yeah, so Sear is like one of the famous roles. So yeah, Sears catalog. They're like going for that old school Sears and Roebuck, but also some all the cards have like a little spooky joke on it or something like that.
I had not seen that werewolf till you pointed it out. I will now never not see it.
Yeah, you can't unsee it, right? Huh.
That's terrifying, and I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Speaking of terrifying, the cover of Sandbags.
Yeah, that
Yes.
one's really disappointing.
That's the only one I
cover.
don't
Like, what?
Like Xylotar is a look. They went for something ambitious.
This feels like the concept art that they gave the artist.
But I hear this one's a really thinky trick-taking game.
That's
So,
cool.
Are they all
And
trick
Ted
taking?
Allsbach is, shedding cards, getting rid of cards, or trick taking. Now, Xylotar, you played also? Mm-hmm. You
Yeah.
like that one?
A lot, yeah.
That's so
It's
ridiculous.
such a crazy look. Yeah, again,
so
it's like
strange.
they went nuts with this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is their big stuff. This like after Cat in the Box, a year or two ago, they were like, okay, I guess they're leaning into this like card games, trick-taking games, shedding games and stuff. They also will have the colossal Cat in the Box.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
That's
they'll
right.
have it there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Whether you
cool.
want
They're
that or
becoming
not,
like a trick-taking company in many ways that you want to keep an eye on. It is the trick-taking Renaissance.
Yeah.
So I have
And
heard.
they're one of the ones on the front end of that, the cutting edge of that. So there we go, folks. That's a lot of booths to check out, and obviously by no means a comprehensive list. We just wanted to highlight a few that we were excited about personally. Let us know in the comments below other booths you want to go check out. What else are you excited about? What outside of that main, hall do you want to go see? We mentioned a couple of things: pinball and
The food trucks.
and obviously the entirety of the stadium we didn't really cover. But yeah, let us know in the comments below, and other people can read those and find out more places they might want to go check out. Yeah, that's it. I think we've
Food
done our
trucks.
duty, and we are ready to go actually walk to these places now. Is it
Yeah.
time yet?
Get in my 50,000 steps a day.
It's not
Looking
time.
forward to it.
Yeah, no joke.
I bought
bring
new
comfortable
shoes.
shoes, y'all.
Yep, I got new shoes. Really comfy, like squishy, recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me not feel so bad about eating at the food trucks. I'm like, I'm burning it off.
Yeah.
You do have to walk over there and walk back, so it's fine.
Yeah, you're
Calorie
good.
free
It's
at that
Gen Con.
point. All right, everybody. Thanks very much again. Thanks to the Op and All Play for sponsoring all of this content. Make sure you go check them out and come see us. Okay, our
there.
booth 331, the Dice Tower, right by the front there. You can't miss it. Well, you could, but try
We'll have
not
a
to
big
miss
thing
it.
overhead
We'll have a
this
big
year
hanging
too.
sign,
Just
yes.
if you can't find us, just look up.
Look up
We'll
if you
have a big
can't find
cube.
us. You have to be in the room.
Well, yeah,
when you
not
look
like
up.
from
People in
your
Wisconsin
hotel
are like,
room, yeah.
I'm doing what
Where?
Camilla said.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
is
sorry. All right, use your brain. Just look for us.
All right. That's it for us, everybody. Thanks very much. My name is Zee Garcia.
I'm Chris Yee.
And I'm Camilla.
We'll see you next time.
Get it one day.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.